Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to explain the real differences between Docker and Podman. This is more critical than most people realize because picking the wrong container runtime can turn your production deployment into a security nightmare or a massive operational headache at 3 in the morning. Let us break down the architecture, the security models, and the real-world trade-offs between the two most popular container tools in the industry today. We are going to cover the fundamental architectural differences, the security implications of the daemon model, how to install and set these up, and the core usage comparisons for your daily workflow. Then we will look at production-grade deployment scenarios, and finally, the decision framework for when you should actually choose Podman over Docker. These are the topics we are going to cover in this video, so do not skip ahead. Watch all the way through to actually understand this properly. Quick note before we dive in, this channel shares practical IT tutorials every week. So if that is useful to you, hit subscribe and join our WhatsApp community linked in the description for more resources. Think about this. You are running a web application in a container. If you use the traditional Docker engine, that engine runs as a root privileged background process. If a vulnerability is found in your application and an attacker manages to break out of the container, they are knocking on the door of a process that has full control over your entire host operating system. That is exactly the problem that makes security teams nervous. Without a way to isolate these processes or remove the need for that constant root access, you are essentially leaving the master key of your server in the hands of every container you deploy. So what is Podman, really? Podman is a container engine that follows a daemon-less architecture. This means there is no single background process managing all your containers. Instead, each container runs as its own separate process. Think of it like moving from a centralized hotel receptionist who handles every single request for every room to a system where each room guest has their own personal concierge who only interacts with them and nothing else. This isolation is the key to why it is considered more secure by design. Before we start, you need a few things ready. You need a machine running Ubuntu 22.04 LTS or a similar modern Linux distribution. You also need a user account with sudo privileges so you can actually install the necessary packages. To get started, open your terminal by pressing Ctrl Alt and T together. Verify your current shell environment by running the echo $sign shell command to ensure you are in a standard session. Finally, make sure no other container runtimes are currently blocking your network ports if you plan to test web containers later. Let us see what this looks like in the next step. This diagram shows the traditional Docker architecture. You have a central daemon running with root permissions. It manages every single container. If container A is compromised, the daemon is directly exposed. Contrast this with Podman, where each container is its own independent process with no central daemon. The control is decentralized, which limits the blast radius of any security breach. Let us move on to the configuration. To install Podman on Ubuntu, we first update our package list to ensure we're grabbing the latest metadata. Then, we use the apt install command with the yes flag to automatically confirm the installation. Finally, we run the version command to verify that the binary is correctly placed in our path. Let us run this and see what happens. If everything worked correctly, you should see the version number printed in your terminal. This confirms that Podman is installed and ready to use. Now that we have the tool, let us look at running our first container. Here, we start an Nginx container using Podman. We use the detach flag to run it in the background and the ports flag to map local port 8080 to the container's port 80. We also give it a name for easier management. Notice that we do not need to start a background service first. Podman just handles the process creation directly. Let us see the result. Running the list command shows our container is active and mapped to the correct port. This is exactly what we expect. our web server is now live. In a production environment, you cannot rely on manual commands. You need your containers to restart automatically if the server reboots. Podman makes this easy by generating a system unit file for you. This command creates the configuration that tells the system manager how to start and monitor your container process. This is a common pattern for production engineers who want to manage containers as first-class system services. Let us see what happens when we verify this. The output confirms the service file has been created. You can now move this to your system directory and enable it to ensure your container starts at boot. This is how you bridge the gap between development and infrastructure management. You might run into a permission denied error when trying to run containers. This usually happens because you are trying to modify system resources or use privileged ports without the necessary capabilities. Why does this happen? Because Podman is strictly enforcing security boundaries that Docker might have ignored. The fix is often as simple as running your command with the appropriate security flags or checking your group permissions. By adding the privileged flag, you explicitly grant the container the necessary permissions to bind to low-numbered ports. Only use this if you absolutely trust the container image. Now that we have fixed the error, we are ready to move on. Consider an e-commerce platform serving 500,000 requests per hour. They were struggling with the security overhead of their container infrastructure. By migrating their core microservices from Docker to Podman, they removed the root-level daemon entirely. This change reduced their security audit findings by 40% and effectively eliminated several high-risk privilege escalation vectors. This is the kind of impact that makes the migration worth the effort for large teams. So when should you choose one over the other? Use Podman when security and rootless execution are your top priorities. It is also the better choice if you are already managing infrastructure with systemd. However, do not use Podman if your CI or CD pipeline relies heavily on the Docker socket, as many older tools are hard-coded to look for that specific file. Also, avoid it if your team lacks experience with Linux service management, as the transition can be steeper than a simple Docker Compose workflow. To recap, Podman provides a daemon-less architecture that significantly improves host security. The shift from a centralized daemon to individual processes reduces the blast radius of any potential compromise. Podman also integrates natively with systemd, which makes it perfect for production-grade container management. Finally, remember that migration requires careful planning if your existing tools depend on the legacy. Docker socket. If you found this video helpful and you think it can help others in the community too, please do like and hype the video. It helps more people find this content. Hit subscribe to stay updated for our regular videos. Join our WhatsApp community using the link in the description where we share more practical IT resources every week. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one. If this video helped you, hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Join our WhatsApp community linked in the description for more practical IT resources every week. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.